What if I told you the biggest lie you ever believed about yourself is your identity? Would you believe me? Let me cook. If you're a deep thinker, you're really going to love this. Your identity is an entity, and that entity has a personality. Now, what do I mean when I say this? When you were born as awareness. You were born as consciousness. You weren't born with an identity. One was actually given to you. Your parents told you who you're supposed to be. Society told you who you're supposed to be. Religion told you who you're supposed to be. Your traumas even tried to dictate and tell you this is who you are now because of that experience. Now, with all of these experiences, you did one thing. You made agreements. And those agreements are actually what builds and keeps the entity that you call me, I am, alive. What we call generational curses are actually agreements made by our forefathers that were passed down to us. I'll give you an example. If you watched your mother struggle to acquire the things that she has in her life, you now have made the agreement, okay, based on the evidence that was presented to you by watching your mother struggle for the things that she has acquired in her life, that guess what? Everything that I want requires struggle. If you were abandoned by your father or your mother, one of your parents stepped out of the home and left the home, you made an agreement that guess what? People always leave. This is why in relationships you're quick to hit the road. You're quick to leave because you want to be the leaver, not the person who gets left, because you made the agreement that people always leave. That is what abandonment does. But I want you to go back to the very beginning of what I said. You were born as awareness. Now, entities are simply psychological constructs that say this is who I am. And they are independent of conscious choice. You don't have to think about smoking because you smoke. You don't have to think about the way that you react when you react to certain conversations or certain experiences. You don't have to think about these things. Because why? The entity has habits, perspectives, preferences, fears, expectations, all those things. Now, I'm challenging you to think about this. If we can observe our habits and we can observe our thoughts and we can observe our behaviors, who's the observer? The observer is the real you. The consciousness that you were born with, the awareness that you were born with is actually the real you. You are not the entity that you have created. The observer and the thing being observed cannot be the same thing. Now, how do you deconstruct this entity? By observing the agreements, finding the origins of these agreements that you made that tell you or inform you that this is who you are. Is it? Or is it who you were told to be? I'm going to give you another example and then I'm going to leave it here. Imagine you're standing in your 4th grade class and you get up there to do a presentation and the whole class begins laughing. In that moment, you made an agreement that I'm not good at public speaking. Now here you are at 38, 25, 19. Never, ever, ever try to do any form of public speaking because in that moment you made an agreement that this is who I am. I'm not good at public speaking. All of the agreements that you have made has created the identity, the entity that you say, this is who I am. You are not the entity. You are so much more than that. Catch you in the next video.